Good afternoon. This is Leadership Sport Update on Leadership TV. I am Salif Usman and my co-partner Alpha Ashu is unavoidably absent today. So I'll be alone on the studio and I'll be trying to do justice to that. Well, in today's edition, we'll be starting from the front. The 2023 strikes 2024 Nigeria Professional League came to an interesting end yesterday with the Rangers International of Enugu. We crowned champion after a 2-1 victory over Gombe United in Jos. So we now have a new champion of the Nigerian Professional Premier League with Rangers International of Enugu, the emerging champion after 38 matches in the marathon race. And in a dramatic ending to the season yesterday, we also saw Remo finishing second behind Enugu Rangers with 65 points. Enugu ended their campaign. Enugu Rangers ended their campaign with 70 points to emerge champion, followed by Remo Star of Ekende finishing second with 65 points, and Enyimba of Aba, who were neck to neck with the Rangers, hoping to be champions after the ill-fated matches between the two sides in the rated derby that ended in unaborted match when Enyimba players have to walk out of the pitch following a late penalty awarded to Rangers, and which the NFF awarded 3 points. NPFL awarded 3 points to Rangers, and which has now been confirmed by the Nigeria Football Federation, confirming the 3 point awarded, and also the sanctions slam on Enyimba. So Enyimba finished their campaign with 62 points, finishing third on the log, and that means that automatically Rangers International will be representing Nigeria in the CAF Champions League alongside with the Remo Star of Eket, who finished second behind Rangers, while Enyimba of Aba will be representing Nigeria in the CAF Confederation Cup next season. And the fourth spot of the second slot of the Nigeria in the CAF Confederation Cup will be taken by the winners of the Federation Cup between El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri and Abia Warriors of Aba. Also, in the dramatic end of the Nigerian Professional Premier League season that ended yesterday on Sunday, we saw four clubs being relegated to the National League. Two private-owned clubs, Doma United of Gombe and Sporting Lagos of Lagos. Both clubs that are being owned by a private-owned club could not maintain their status in the Premier League. Sporting Lagos get promotion to the Premier League last season, but in their first season, after a first season, they have to go back to where they are coming from now. They are being relegated back. They lost their final match to Shooting Star. They needed to win their final game yesterday in Ibadan, but unfortunately, they lost that game 2-1 to Shooting Star of Ibadan, and that confirmed their relegation back to the NNL. Doma United also suffered a defeat in their last game. Also, they are also going to play in NNL next season. Also relegated on the final day of the Nigerian Professional League yesterday, Gombe United before the final match against the champion Rangers have also already know their fate of going down in the relegation. He also going that relegation. 4 teams that have been relegated from the Premier League and are now going back to the professional to the NNL are Sporting Lagos, Doma United, Gombe United, and as well as Heartland of Owerri. Heartland of Owerri for the second time again. If you recall, Heartland got relegated in the two seasons ago to the NNL. They struggled in NNL and they were able to win the promotion back to the NPFL last season. But unfortunately, the club from Imo State, owned by the Imo State government, which is being headed, Imo State government led by Hope Undodima. Even with all having a hope governor, they couldn't maintain their hope in the Premier League, and they are going back to NNL for a second time in 3 years. This is quite unfortunate. We cried loud, we shouted on top of our voice for Hope Undodima to intervene in the situation in Heartland. Unfortunately, the man couldn't do more, and now they are going back to NNL again, just for a second time in 3 years. It's quite unfortunate. What it means that at the moment, if not thanks to academy warriors who were relegated last season and who unfortunately have get promotion to the NPFL, they are going to PNFL last season. If not for them, by the coming season, we will not have any club from the Northwest playing in the Premier League. The only two clubs 2 years ago, El Canemi get relegated alongside the Bauchi, alongside Victories of Bauchi. El Canemi are now able to get promotion back this season. Bauchi could not get the promotion. Doma United and Gombe United, who were just the only one flying the flag representing the Northwest in the Premier League, both of them have get relegated to Premier League. But if not for the bouncing back of the El Canemi, we will not have opportunity to have those football fans in the entire Northwest will not have an opportunity to witness the Premier League next season. Well, that's the situation in the Nigerian Premier League. We have a new champion in El Kanemi in Enugu Rangers, and 4 teams are buying a goodbye to the Premier League. As I said earlier, Sporting Lagos, Doma United, Gombe United, and Heartland of Owerri. That is the situation. So congratulations to new champion Rangers International of Enugu for emerging champion. Once again. Well, move to our next story. The situations in the sports situation in Nigeria, our administration could not stop embarrassing Nigeria, and once again, Nigeria's name is on the card, not for a good reason, but for another wrong reason. Nigeria Integrity Unit of World Athletic have queried the Athletic Federation of Nigeria following over the discrepancies of age of four Nigerian athletes. 4 Nigerian athletes at the moment who are being registered for the forthcoming World Championship in Poma, Peru, have discrepancies of their age. According to the query slammed on the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, the Integrity Unit AIU are asking AFN to provide explanation on why those athletes, as you can see them on the screen, on why those athletes have been registered for a different age in different competitions. The same athletes who have been registered for this competition, they have registered them have entered into a competition previously with a different age, and a new age that they have also registered them is a different age. So the IU is asking them to provide detail about those athletes. Detail that including their school certificate, detail that include their date of birth, detail that include their international passport, detail that also include their communication between AFN and as well as the athlete, on how many those athletes are having different age. So the query came, the date on the query, the query were issued on July 7th, but you can know, close to administration, they were trying to place man to keep all those things from the public, but unfortunately they couldn't sustain it. The news has broke out. And what the time given to them has a laugh to respond to the query. On yesterday, when we tried to find out from the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, the secretary of the federation, Rita Musi, confirmed to leadership TV that the athlete in question, in his own way, have responded to the query. But however, and he pleaded that they shouldn't do much, that there is about legal matter. Nobody is not allowed to comment on the matter any further until the report of the investigation by AIA. But the Integrity Unit of World Athletic came out. But we keep on asking, if you recall what happened at the Tokyo Olympic, when about 10 athletes were banned from competing because of out of competition test. And here we are again. This we are talking about underage competition. But the officials, only God know what has come about. We can't accuse anybody, but we don't know whose fault, either for the fault athlete. But the officials will be magnanimous enough to know if you have registered a particular athlete for a particular competition last year with a different age, and this year again you are raising the same athlete, the age you are forgetting the age you registered the athlete. That is claimed it get to show about our inconsistent of the way we do things here. People forsake that I'm not accusing that they forsake their age, but it cannot be far from the truth. Probably either those athletes have forsaken their age, or it's a compromise between the athlete and also only God knows. But according to Rita, the secretary of the federation, they have responded to the athletes in which have responded to the query, but we are waiting for the outcome of the report of the Integrity Unit of World Athletic. But this is not good for the image. It is not good for our image. If we want to do something, we should do it rightly and properly. Well, the 2024 Federation Cup now tag the President Federation Cup, who will now hold at the Mobile Johnson Stadium Arena in Lagos. The championship was earlier supposed to hold at the Abuja National Stadium. It would have been for the first time the competition would have been staged in at the Abuja National Stadium. But the organizers of the oldest competitions in Nigeria, formerly known Gold Cup, later changed to King Cup, and now later to FA Cup, then Federation Cup, and now the President Federation Cup. The final of this year, according to Nigeria Football Federation, will now hold at the Mobilize Stadium Arena in Lagos, no longer at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium that was earlier planned to hold the competition. According to Nigeria, according to NFF, the NFF and their partners, the GTF announced on Sunday that they hosted a good venue on Lagos Island, which hosted the final of the competition collectively between 1945 and 1972, instead of MP Abiola National Stadium that was earlier scheduled to hold the final of the competition, formerly known as the King Cup. But that is unfortunate for the Abuja fans who are hoping to witness the final between Abia Warriors and Academy Warriors. Now, if you must witness the final, you now have to buy your ticket or travel all the way from Lagos at the Mobilize Arena. So the final will be played between Abia Warriors and Academy Warriors. That is for the male, and for the female version of the competition, Niger Rated, the Abuja-based women football club, and the most experienced women football club, the River Angel, will slug it out for the women final of the Women Federation Cup. So, which all the finalist sources, they were the Academy will have to travel all the way from Bruno to Lagos, while Abia will have to take a short trip from Abia Warriors Aba to Lagos. And for Abuja girls, we wish them best of luck. Well, we move to the next couple. Next story, the Flamingos, the Nigerian Under-17 Women Cup women team have known their foes for the FIFA Under-17 Women Cup, FIFA Under-17 Women World Cup. They are going to battle the host. The Nigerian team. Okay, the Nigerian team will slug it out against the host, the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, and New Zealand. While Group A, Group B, Spain, US, Korea Republic, and Colombia. Group C has Korea, Mexico, Kenya, and England. Japan, Poland, Brazil, and Zambia will slug it out in Group D. Nigerians are perennially features in this competition, but this time around they're going to swallow the Dominican are making their debut for the first time in this competition. And if you're looking at the pedigree of the Nigerian team on this competition, we hope that the Oluwakore girls will be able to navigate their way out of this competition. So looking at the group, it is not a bad group for the Nigerian. New Zealand, well, Ecuador, well, and Dominican. I think the Nigerian girls should have a chance to progress from this competition. And looking at pedigree, we have make a perennial features in this competition. And in Group B, we have Spain. Spain are also a very strong side when it comes to women football, and US. Looking at the group, I think you have to look at the Spain and US to progress to the next round of the competition, but not underrating the Korean Republic and as well as Colombia. Japan, if you come to women football, is a known force in the women football, as well as Brazil and Zambians are beginning to make inward in the women football. The senior national team were at the last World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, and here again the other 17 have made a progress, so going to the World Cup for the first time, and I hope that they're also going to do Africa proud. Kenya is another surprise team that is going to present Africa at the competition. So ISB and which Olokere and his girl good success at the competition, but looking at the group, I will strongly believe that Olokere and his girl will be able to progress to the next round of the competition. That will depend on the preparation by the Nigerian Football Federation. Well, The Nigerian superstar Victor Osimhen is still not yet settled about where he's going to play in the next football season. There's many speculations about Osimhen moving from Napoli to several clubs. Several clubs has been mentioned as a suitor for Osimhen. Arsenal, the like of Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, and lately PHB has all been mentioned linking to Osimhen, but unfortunately, no club has been able to meet the price tag slam on the Nigerian international, the African French Football of the Year, the 150 European slam on the Nigerian. Nobody has been able to meet the price tag so far, but and it depends. So Osimhen is not yet sure where he's going to play his next football season. He's going to play his football next season. But the new Napoli coach, former Chelsea coach, former Inter Milan coach, former Tottenham coach, Anthony Conte has said that he needs time. He needs to sit down with Osimhen, and he's trying to explore possibly to convince the African Footballer of the Year and the superstar. Osimhen, by all standards, by all rank, can be mentioned as a legend in Napoli because after a long time, he was able to give in Napoli what they have could not do for over 30 years, helping them to win Serie A. But now Conte want to sit down with the Nigerian star, probably to convince him to sit to play at least for another one season more for Napoli. But that depending, we to see, and probably Osimhen is going to take that option to remain in Napoli is yet to be seen. But Osimhen has made his mind know that he wants to pick initially to move out of Napoli for probably have his eye in the Premier League. But all the clubs in the Premier League so far have not been able to meet the price tag slam on the Nigerian. Although we heard this morning, although there was a new break that Napoli has also lowered their price tag to £100 million. But whether Manchester United, who are desperate to get a striker, will be able to take that option, or Chelsea, Arsenal. Well, you can't. I'm not ruling out Arsenal completely, but when you have much of money, it become almost impossible to Arsenal to pay that kind of big of money just for one player. But we're going to see either the like of Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United, and PSG, who have lose their striker in the person of Kylian Mbappe, will take the option and probably go for Nigeria. But Conte want to convince the Nigerian star to stay, and you see, you need time to discuss with the Nigerian international. The 20 the next story, the 2025 African Cup of Nations, it was earlier proposed that the cup is going to hold, but due to the FIFA Club World Cup that is going to be also be hosted by Morocco, the Confederation of African Football Federations have shifted the date for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The 2025 African Cup of Nations will now hold in December 21st to January 18. But obviously, this is a very big difficult time for African football to play a Nations Cup between December in the Christmas time. That means all African players will have to bid a goodbye for the Christmas time, and even the support fans who would have loved to be with their families and the administration would have loved to be with their friends to celebrate Christmas are not going to celebrate 2025 Christmas, but they have to be in Morocco because the African Confederation of African Football have fixed the 2025 African Cup of Nations between December 21st and January 18th. And we have seen several times, and even several experts, several opinion leaders have advised Africa to find the means of having a stable plan, a stable time for their football calendar. But unfortunately, anytime FIFA strike and the FIFA competition clash with African time, they will always like to switch the time. And now we are going to have another African Cup of Nations in the winter. We are hoping that being Morocco hosting the competition, the next edition of Africa Cup of Nations should be held in the summer. But unfortunately, the Club World Cup that has come to clash with the Africa Cup of Nations has shifted Africa Cup of Nations to another winter time again. It's quite unfortunate for African football, and this is a very tough time for African players, most especially, and these are some of the things that always the market or devalue the price of African player, because this at that time December period is always a peak time, a peak time, particularly in the Premier League. This is always a peak time for the clubs in the Premier League, and this is where this is when African want the club in the Premier League to lose the African players just to come up for African to come up represent their nation. Well, we'll be going for a short break. When we come back, this sort of bit continue. Welcome back from national break. Glad to know that you are still there. This is still Sport Orbit on Leadership TB. The Europe 2022, the Europe 2024 is getting tough and tough, and almost the host Germany survived a scare, the early scare, and then at the end of the day they were able to play 1-1 draw with Switzerland yesterday, and eventually win the Group A. So they are going progressing to the quarterfinal as a group winner of their as a winner of their group. Switzerland finished second behind the German with 5 points. Germany has 7 points. Switzerland has 5 points. While Hungary, surprisingly, has 3 points. Hungary surprisingly knocked out Scotland. Scotland were hoping to get a good result against a Hungary, probably to make to the second round, to make to the out of the group stage of the competition for the first time in their life. But unfortunately, a late go by the Hungary star confirm their fate, and then they are now back at home for the and their dream of progressing out of the group stage for a major competitions continue. In another difficult tie that we're going to face up today in Group B, we are going to see tonight a titanic clash between two heavyweight side, two European heavyweight between Italy and Croatia. These two teams are in desperate moves to progress to the next round of the competition. In Group B, with Spain already progressed to the next round of the competition with 6 points. Spain currently has 6 points, and with that, they have already progressed to the next round. Both Croatia and Italy has 3 points, and they are facing each other tonight. And the most a winner, either a winner of this side will progress to the next round, and at most best, if they play a draw, because of the opportunity for a best loser may see two of them progress to the next round of the competition. But you need to take your chance, and you must not wait what the other result in the other group have to favor you before you progress on the best one of the best loser. But the two sides has a 3 point. Italy has a better goal difference of plus one. Minus one. Why Croatians are not too favorable with the group, but all of them has a 3 point. Albania, who is the whipping point on that group, and Spain have faced their last group match against Albania. But between Italy and Croatia, it's a must win for either side of the competition, and whoever win, the winner take all. And it's going to be a titanic clash for the two sides today, and for the battle of who survive in the group stage of the competition. France appear to be not doing well in the competition, but not doing badly in the competition. Won their first match, and they draw their second match against Holland. They have equal point with Holland. Holland is leading on a better goal difference, but France is following up. But France are now hoping for the return of their titanic their captain. But it's not too sure. It's still in doubt either their captain is going to make a return for their final group match tomorrow against Poland. Netherlands holds Australia in the final group, and that group is still very open. It's still very open because Australia has 3 points, Netherlands has 4 points, France has 4 points. So both of them all has a probability of progressing to the next round of the competition. Netherlands and Australia will square up in the final in their own final group match once France and Poland will square. Poland are yet to win the match, even with Lewandowski in the team. Poland are yet to win the match, but France are hoping that if their captain will make a return, and hoping to win the match. But the coach is not too sure. Their coach is not too sure either his captain is going to make a return, even while it's very clear that on Sunday he played in a turn-up match and scored 2 goals in the turn-up. But the coach is not too sure either he's going to make a captain, even when the captain is pushing hard to make a return to the team. But we're going to see either he's going to make a return to the team. But let's look at the group standing of the Europe competition so far, and let's look at it how each team stand in the group, and who is likely going to have a chance. Well, I think we have to move on and hope that if the France Mbappe will make a return for the France on Tuesday. Well, former champion More will not be part of this year Wimbledon due to injury. The organizer announced on Sunday that the former champion, the British star, We're not going to be part of this year with Blue on the home country. It's quite unfortunate. After winning the Wimbledon for the first time in 2013, the British has tried several times to get to win the competition of the game, but unfortunately, he has been ruled out completely of this year edition of the competition. I think that is the most we can take on this edition of the Sport Update. We hope that when we return on Thursday, we'll be able to give you more detail and analysis of almost how the Europe competition so far. Several clubs are making, several teams are making a surprise so far. Spain appears to be the leading team so far, winning their 2 matches against their tough team. Even Ronaldo Portugal are also excelling well. They have already qualified, progress so far. The group that is more difficult is the group that has Belgium, Armenia, and others. So all the 4 teams have won 1 match each, and that group appears to be the group of death. And with just 1 match to go. So the final match on Wednesday will decide ultimately who is going to progress to the next round of the competition. That is the most we can take on to this edition of the Sport Update. Until return again for the next edition, I remain yours sincerely, Salihu Usman. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.